Welcome to Unite Conferencing's tutorial on recordings. In this tutorial, I'll review how to initiate, edit, and distribute your recordings. And I'll showcase some of the information you could capture from participants that have listened to your recordings. Recordings can only be initiated by the host or leader of the conference. All participants will be notified that the conference is being recorded, and once completed, recordings are stored on the Unite Conferencing server for a period of 30 days. However, this time may be extended. Recordings can be initiated either through your online host controls or by pressing *2 on your telephone keypad. Keep in mind that if you were to initiate a recording via telephone keypad, the system will only capture the audio segment. Should you be conducting a webinar, you must initiate the recording through the online host controls in order to capture the visual segment. To record an audio-only conference, you can use either method. Keep in mind there is no limit to the duration of the recording. You can always manually stop the recording by pressing *2 on your telephone keypad, or by pressing the record button again in the online host controls. A recording will also end automatically when the leader or host of the conference disconnects from the call, with the exception of when conference continuation is turned on, in which case the call and the recording will end until the last person disconnects from the conference. To find your recordings, you'll need to log into your web meeting portal at www.uniteconferencing.com. Select Start a Web Meeting. To reiterate from past videos, this will not start a web conference, this only gives you access to your meeting portal. Next, enter your reservation list toll-free number and access codes, then log in. On the left-hand side, select Recordings, and here you'll find your file. If you had just completed a recording, you'll see a notice here saying that your file will be ready shortly. Depending on the duration of your recording, this may take a few minutes to upload. Once your recording is available, click on the title to expand the options. Immediately, you can see the date, duration, and playbacks. Starting under Manage, you can begin by renaming your recording, then you can edit your file. Editing your recording is very simple, and if you had recorded a webinar, you are not required to sync the audio or the visual. To begin editing, you will first have to create a cut point. Begin by putting a start time and an end time, then select Add Cut Point. From here, you may continue making cuts, or you can go ahead and click on Make Cut. Depending on the length and the number of segments being removed, this process may take a few seconds or a few minutes to complete. Once the change has been completed, the recording will restart and you may continue making changes. If an error has been made, you can click on View Past Cuts, and you can then review all of the segments that were changed. You can undo any accidental changes, or you can always revert back to the original unedited version. Once you're satisfied with the final product, you can go ahead and download the file. All commonly used file types are available: Flash, MP3, MP4, and WAV. Please note that the MP4 format is not available from the beginning. To enable MP4 download, you must select Add to Feed. This will generate a version of your recording compatible to be used in iTunes for podcasting. Converting the file to MP4 may take a few minutes depending on the size of the file. Once downloaded, that file belongs to you. If you would like to delete the recording from our server, you can select Delete. Please note that by deleting the recording, you'll not be able to capture information from participants who had listened to your conference. In order to enable that feature, please select Enable Registration, then click Edit. You can create up to 6 fields to capture from your listeners. On the right-hand side, you can make those questions required fields to be answered. When finished, click on Save. You can also turn on notification of playbacks. This will enable automatic emails to be sent to you whenever someone registers to listen to your recording. To begin distributing your recording, you can start by emailing the playback URL, or you can post your recording link on your social media account, Twitter or Facebook. As mentioned earlier, you can enable RSS feeds and have the recording available as a podcast on iTunes, or you can embed the recording on your webpage altogether. By clicking on Embed in Web Page, you'll be given an embed code. This will have your recording displayed on your website similar to the movie-style format that you see here. This is very easy to do, and it's a simple copy and paste process. Or for another simple way to share your recording, you can click on Show Playback URL. This will give you a URL that you can hyperlink on your webpage. Depending on where you're posting this link, it may be advantageous for you to enable Require a Passcode. You can change the code anytime. Just ensure that the passcode is provided to your audience. Once participants have begun to register and view your recording, you can then click on Playbacks. Here you can keep track of all of your registrants. You can also see the answers to your registration questions, and just as important, you'll be able to see if participants had listened to the entire recording or if they stopped listening early. This is another great tool to measure the success of your presentation, allowing you to follow up with your listeners accordingly. This concludes our video tutorial on recording. Should you require additional assistance, please give us a call at 1-800-624-9923.